Assalamu alaikum, my name is Sajil Mariam and our topic is Java. Java is a popular programming language which was created in 1995. Today it has more than 3 billion devices in the world that are running Java. It is used for different purposes like mobile applications. It's for specially for Android apps. It is used for website development, games, database connections, and many more. Java is similar to C++, so C++ users are more familiar and it's easy for them to connect with Java. It's because these both languages has similar features. It is Java is also easy to learn and simple to use. It is secure, fast and powerful language. Java has a huge community support. It has millions of developers. Syntax in Java syntax we will see the main method and the system through which we can print our text on screen. Main method public static void main is an argument which is must for every Java program. Without public static void main we can't execute our program. To print a line or a text on screen, we use system.out.println and you can try it by yourself. Here we can change this word hello world to Sajil Mariam and we can run this program and we have our output Sajil Mariam. And in every code statement it is must to end it with a semicolon, otherwise it is an error. And at the end of a block of our code it's must to have curly braces, without which our program can't execute and it will give us an error. We have Java comments. These are passed by using double backslash. For single line comment we use double backslash, and this line is ignored by our code by a Java executor because this is only a line that we make ourselves understand, and we use it for making ourselves understand for what we are going to work on. It can be of two types. There can be multi-line comments and single line comments. For multi-line comments we use backslash with star at the end and at the beginning of our comment. At beginning of our comment we use backslash and then star, but at the end of comment multi-line comment we use start and then backslash, and comments are passed, but these are not executed in our program. This it by using try it yourself, and when we run this program we have our output hello world, but our comment is not executed, which means that it is ignored by our compiler and executed. Java variables, there are different type of Java variables. It can be string, float, character, int or boolean. These all contain different sizes and different bytes. Int character in we can store values without decimals and it can be numbers. In float variables we stores the value with decimals, and in character we store the single characters by using single quotes. In string we use double quotes to store our variables, but in boolean we passes the statement that can be true, false, yes or no. It can be your choice. To assign a value to a variable we use equal sign for assigning. Here values are assigned to int, float, character, boolean and string. We have assigned our values by naming the variables and by using the equal sign. Next one is print variables. To print the variable we use print ln in our system outline, which means that we want to display this line like the words given, the characters given in double quotation are printed as they are, like John and hello. There are many variables at the same time in the same program by using different variable names. Like here we have declared int x, int y, int z by using different variable name, and system.out.println we have print them out. All the variables can be given same value by using the equal sign. The Java contains the unique names for different variables. You can't name same variables for identifying the variables. These should contain letters, digits, underscores, and dollar signs. These must begin with a letter. This should start with lowercase because Java is a case sensitive language. It contains rules for identifying the variables. There are different Java data types like int, float, character, boolean, and string. Here it's given the complete description of these data types, their bytes, their size, and their description. Int contains 4 bytes, long data type contains 8 bytes, float contains 4 bytes as well, like int contains. Boolean contains 1 byte and character contains 2 bytes. These data types are divided into the two types, primitive data types and non-primitive data types, which are further defined. Java numbers, primitive number types are divided into the two groups, integer types and floating types. Byte, short, int and long are integer types. We can't use the decimal in these data types, but floating data type like float and double, we can use one or more than one decimal numbers as well. Here are some examples of these data types. We can try it like in int. We are not using any decimal point, so we have our answer without a decimal point. But in floating points, we have points here, so we'll describe it as point. Floating data type. We can use only two words: yes, no, true, false, this, that, but not numbers, not digits. We can't assign it. These are different data types. In characters we can store only single character, but in string we can store as many characters as we want. In character we store values by store characters by using single quote, but in string data type we store our characters by using double quotes. Here we have stored our values by using double quotation in string, but in characters we store it by using single quotation. Non-primitive data types and primitive data types. Primitive data types are those which are defined already by the system, but non-primitive are those which programmer developed it by itself, and there are some rules for development of non-primitive. Like primitive can start with lower or always start with lower case letter, but non-primitive starts with uppercase letter. Size of primitive data types depend on data type, like int contains only 4, but while size of non-primitive type, it depends on also on the system because it is developed. Types have all the same sizes. It can't be of different sizes. Typecasting, there are two types of typecasting: widening casting and narrowing casting. In widening casting, it is automatically done by our system, our compiler and executor, like converting it from a smaller if we convert int into if we convert int into the double, it is done automatically by the widening casting. But narrowing casting is converting that is done by a programmer manually. It can't be done automatically because it is conversion of larger type to a smaller data type. We have given my int is equals to 9, but we